Hello and welcome to today's video. If you've been with me for a while, you remember when I did this makeover, or when we did this makeover to our kitchen maybe a year and a half ago, almost 2 years ago now. But like I mentioned in my last video, I have been wanting to change it up ever since the day we finished it. Not because it's not beautiful, not because we didn't do an amazing job on it, but because this kitchen has just never felt like me. It feels a little bit sterile. I'm not a huge fan of blue. It was just something we chose because it looked pretty. I saw an image I was inspired by and we went with it. But living with it for almost the past 2 years now, it's just not my cup of tea. So I decided today was the day. I was going to go out and get a bunch of different paint samples and I was going to turn this into the moody kitchen of my dreams. It's amazing what one can of paint, some new grout, and a ton of elbow grease can do for a kitchen. I hope you guys enjoy today's video. I hope it motivates you and I hope you love it as much as I do. We chose the color green because it is a color we could both agree on and we both love it a lot. So I went to the store, got like 11 different paint samples, and then painted them on multiple areas of the kitchen to see how each color reacted to the light. I am always so grateful to work with wonderful brands that I can stand behind and who support my channel by sponsoring my videos. I'd love to thank Ritual for sponsoring today's. If you're wondering whether or not to take a multivitamin, the main thing to know is this: no matter how well you eat or what kind of diet you follow, it can be difficult to get all the nutrients needed from food all the time. As a super busy mom of 4, I don't always have the time to sit down 3 times a day and have a balanced meal. Taking this multivitamin is like a nutrient backup plan. I get everything I need in this beautiful little pill. I keep mine right by my coffee station, so when I'm making my coffee in the morning, I pop 2 in my mouth and I'm good to go. Ritual multivitamins use a delayed release capsule design, so this means that the capsule was designed to dissolve later and bypass the stomach and dissolve in the small intestine. Because of this, you don't have to worry about taking your vitamin with food because you never get that funky upset tummy feeling. I love Ritual's whole less is more approach. They look at the nutrients people need versus what we're already getting in our diets and then choose their nutrients based on those gaps. So you have no extras like mystery ingredients, common allergens, or shady additives. They even offer bundles for the whole family. If you've been wanting to try Ritual yourself, go to www.ritual.com/Denise20 to save 20% off your first month. I put an easy link down in my description box, so when you're done watching today's video, make sure you click the link and get started on Ritual today.
But I can hold you any longer. I can cope 'cause you're a story. I wake up feeling even smaller.
Okay, I know you guys got a sneak peek of the color that we chose during the sponsored portion of this video. Also, side note, thank you so much for always supporting me and my channel when I do have sponsored content. I love the brands I work with and I always feel confident recommending them to you guys. So it's how I make a living and I truly appreciate it. That said, you saw that I chose actually this color that I'm painting right now, which is Benjamin Moore Backwoods. It was the perfect green for this space and looked beautiful in every single lighting and every corner of the kitchen. So I cannot wait to show you when it's all done. Please keep watching even though you got that peek. It is so worth it. We completely transformed this space. I knew that because our cabinets were going to be super dark and beautiful, I didn't want a super busy backsplash. I didn't want you walking into the kitchen and then not knowing where to look, whether it was the cabinets or the busy picket tile, because the gray really enhances that. So I knew I wanted a beautiful, crisp white backdrop for those cabinets to set on. So first, I tried the Grout Refresh in white and I tried painting a couple coats over it, but I knew it just was not going to do the trick. The grout was just absorbing the paint and I would have needed so much refresh to get that done. So then I went ahead with the Dremel and a couple of different attachments and it worked great. I got all the grout out, but this would have taken me days to complete. You guys see how busy this tile is. It would have taken forever. So I thought, this is not our forever kitchen. In a couple of years, our plan is to do a full kitchen reno addition onto the house. So we just needed something that's going to hold up, look good, and last for us. So I went ahead and I took that grout and I went right over the existing gray grout. I'm sure some of you professionals, if this is your line of work, are cringing, but I will say it's holding up really well for us. You guys know how I clean, and I wipe down the backsplash all the time. I haven't had any flaking, no problem with it coming off, and it looks great. So if you're looking for a quick fix and something you don't may not last forever, you can 100% go over the grout you already have, as long as there's a caveat. Satisfying moment alert. Look at all this nasty grime and grease that was behind my stovetop. I went ahead with a crud cutter, which is amazing at cutting grease, grime, any sort of goo, leftover residue, paint, things like that. I believe it's non-toxic, and it worked great as a prep for everything in the kitchen.
I really think we're getting close. I really do believe in us the most. I'm not gonna move until you do. And this time I need you to be on my side. Be with me every second of the ride. I need to wake up right here with you.
I want to make sure I mention this before I forget. Crud cutter was the only thing that I used to prep my cabinet boxes and the cabinet doors before repainting them. So this is a degreaser. It does a great job at kind of, I guess, roughing the surface up a little bit. It does cut away some of that paint. I ended up changing my rag out like 8 times throughout this process so that anything it already kind of took off, I wasn't then smearing on, a new surface. I also used a new additive in my paint. If you guys remember the very first time I painted my cabinets, I used Floetrol. Well, the store was out of Floetrol, and so the guy introduced John to this product called M1. It's a latex paint additive and extender. I think with one bottle, it can treat up to 16 gallons, and you get a 10 to 15 minute window when you're brushing or rolling the paint. I actually have had people come in my kitchen and say, wow, I can't see a single brush stroke. Did you use a sprayer? But I did not use a sprayer. I used a brush and a roller for the entire project.
Question marks, the broken hearts. I went all my life without you. Something right could be so wrong. Carry on, cause I know I have to let you go. I know it's bad to take a leap into my world of fantasies, but we will make it all the way somehow.
If you're wondering, this project took me about a week to finish. I did it almost completely by myself. Aside from like that tiny bit of time you saw John doing the grout, we were just kind of hanging out that night. And then he sanded the shelves for me, but then I ended up having to resand them anyway. We'll talk about that later. But a week. I did this project solely by myself, and I am so proud of it. But I will say I would not have been able to do it without John's help. He completely took over when he got home from work, doing all of the duties with the kids, and I focused solely on getting this done. Now it's time to get started on the cabinet doors and the drawer fronts. So I did go ahead and I tried to take off all of the hardware, but John and I glued them in prior to just putting them in. So those first two came out really easily, but the rest of them did not. So I just painted around them. I took off all of the handles and bar pulls and the little sticky tabs that, hit the cabinet boxes so they don't make a loud noise. I took those off as well. I did want to reiterate that Crud Cutter was the only thing I used to prep my cabinet boxes and my cabinet doors. You may want to take the additional step and after you degrease them, sand them, maybe even prime them. If this is something that you want to last for a very, very long time, I would highly recommend going through those extra steps. I didn't have the time to do all of those things, and I also knew that it wasn't necessary for the amount of time we need these to hold up for. So like I said, we will be doing a full kitchen remodel, and eventually the space that is currently our kitchen may turn into a mud room, dog washing station, whatever, but we won't have the cabinets anymore. So to save time, I went ahead and I used the degreaser. It got off all the crud, the grime, roughed the cabinet doors up a little bit, even took off some of the old paint, and it was good to go. Now all the paint is cured, and I haven't noticed any problems with chipping or scratching, so it worked out for me.
I'm still dreaming, falling deeper in. This love is an ocean wide that never runs dry.
I actually purchased 3 gallons of this green paint. Can you guess how many of those gallons I ended up using? One gallon. And I didn't even use the entire thing. Each one of these cabinet doors, the drawer fronts, and the boxes all got 2 full coats of paint. So I'm thinking that it's also the paint. Well, maybe that's why it's called an extender. The paint extender slash that M1 additive really made this paint go a long way. So now I have 2 full cans of this paint left, and I'm considering doing it on the feature wall in our bedroom and then doing a slat wall over that. I think it would look beautiful. So that will be in the future, but more in the distant future because my surgery is coming up in like 10 days. When you guys see this, oh my gosh, when you guys see this, it's going to be like less than a week away. So my surgery is on the 11th of February and I'm going to be out of commission for a while. So I'm doing my best to batch film and edit to make sure I've got some good content coming your way.
You look at me like I'm crazy when I shut my feelings out. You look at me like I'm different, still you stay cause you feel something real. Get so lost in my moments, doesn't mean I don't need you. I fell in love with your colors, they kinda tell me what I'm thinking. Fell in love with the way we are and the way we lose it. There's something different about us and the reason why we stay. We fly around like paper planes, they never know where we will fall. Nobody can see us, still they wanna tear us apart. There's something different about the way we are. There's something different about us. Pouring cup after cup after cup. Yeah, it's just the way we do it. Anything just to block out the real life, real life. Yeah, we're loving the way they think we're so messed up. Even if what we're doing is bad, there's so many emotions. Sharing stories that we never had, yeah, none is real. I think we're searching for reasons not to be like them. We fly around like paper planes, they never know where we will fall. Nobody can see us, still they wanna tear us apart. There's something different about the way we are. There's something different about us.
There were a few days where I only had like 20 minutes or an hour to work on this project. Sometimes it was right after I got out of the shower, like you see here. My hair looks like a poodle. But that's kind of just the nature of doing a massive project like this when you've got kids. You just have to find the time to do it, even if it is kind of in the nooks and crannies of the day. But like I said, it took about a week and I was pretty happy with that time frame.
asking why I'm struggling to stay. It's a mystery why I'm here. I guess I'm just too tired of fighting. What you say? As we're growing older, darling, I begin to understand it all. It's me that I'm fighting. Now that I see what is hiding underneath my skin, and I'm always sorry to bring you in my fall. Yeah, with my fall. Feelings like this never end. We have to try and keep the mood up. Stay. I know that sometimes we pretend to love each other like we used to, but it's all good in the end.
Now it's time to sand down our floating shelves. They originally had a pickled white oak finish. The shelves are actually white oak, and it was like a pickled milky finish. I chose it originally because I thought it looked really good with our flooring, but I knew once I painted the cabinets that deep green, I needed a much warmer tone in there. So I had John sand them down. I will say that I ended up going back and redoing this, and I will explain that, but they were just, he thought he sanded enough. He put a lot of energy into this, but when I went to stain them, it just wasn't taking it evenly. It was patchy, and I just wasn't thrilled with it. So I actually ended up taking them back outside. I first sanded them down with a 60 grit sandpaper, then I believe a 120, and then a 220 after that. So if you're looking to like re-sand a piece of furniture, most of the time you need to do like a heavy grit to really get all that stuff out of there, then a finer grit, and then something to polish it, like a super fine 220 or something like that. And you guys will see it ended up taking the natural stain beautifully. The grain really shows up. They're very even. And then I ended up finishing them off with just some finishing wax, and I'm super happy with them.
You've always felt like a part of you has gone missing. I know it's real, but I'm telling you, it's closer than you know. I'm really trying to keep it cool now. Don't you see that you're a fool? Oh, it's time to open your eyes and let go. Oh, oh. You got a lot of exes, but none of them know you better. The stories you've heard could be you and I. Hey, let me explain, get to the reason why it's not us. You know there's no one else than me you trust. You know it's truth deep inside. Won't you let it go? Sick and tired of seeing you in pain. Your head's in a haze. Won't you lean on me? I'll catch you if you fall. So take a leap of faith. Your fixed ideas clouding up your mind. Won't stop until common sense applies. The sun illuminates ahead. Need you to let go. Side while you tumble, way below the waves. Undercurrent pulls you in. I try to guide you out to calm waters. Just give me your gotta let go.
Now it's time to style the shelves and start finishing this space off. So I found these pretty little paintings. They're Studio McGee by Threshold at Target. I took the frame off of this one because with the frame it didn't fit on any of the shelves. It was too big. I ended up just taking it off the shelf, putting the frame back on, and putting it on the countertop. I just like the colors. I like that it was just kind of a beautiful organic looking painting, right? Styling shelves is always one of my favorite things to do, but it's definitely a process. It's trial and error, right? So it ends up looking completely different than what you just saw, but it's kind of the fun part, right? Is finishing the space off and just making it look homey and cozy, and I love being in this space now. And the last thing I needed to do was change out this original light fixture to something a little bit smaller and a little bit more modern, and that matched the existing light we already had. So I couldn't find exactly what I needed online because the profile of the actual unit had to be pretty small. This thing was way too big, and I actually could not grout behind it, which is why you can see a little gap in the wall there where the ceiling meets the tile. I end up caulking that. So the fixture I chose had a much smaller diameter. So I took some spackle, I spackled this little area here, repainted, and then installed the fixture. So I could not find exactly what I was looking for online, and I didn't want to spend a bunch of money on something super simple. I just wanted a milk glass like globe, like the actual kitchen fixture. So it would just mimic that a little bit. So I just found the separate pieces at Home Depot, whatever the base of the light is called. I'm going to call it the base of the light. It was nickel. I spray painted it black with my trusty Rust-Oleum black spray paint, put it up there, and then found a globe in the same place at Home Depot, and it was the perfect size. So I basically made a custom light fixture for like $12 and installed it myself.
To see from the moment we arrived. Cornelia, you are one who will survive. When time's been bad, you put smiles on everyone.
now it's time to show you guys the finished product. I'm going to toot my own horn and say I think this is one of the most beautiful things I've done. I love this space. I love the green. I really feel like I brought nature inside. So when I'm doing dishes and I'm seeing all the trees and the pines and things like that, out of my peripheral vision, I see the green cabinets and my plants, and I just feel like it's an extension of the outdoors, and I'm so happy with it. I love the white grout. Everything just feels crisp, but it feels like a hug when you're in here. It's so warm and moody and welcoming, and it's a happy space. And I'm going to be mimicking my prep kitchen to look very similar to this, and I'm so excited for that. I was really hoping to get that done before my surgery, but I just don't think I can rush it. I'm currently working on the wallpaper. But I'm going to show you guys from many different angles, and then also show you the kitchen when we first bought the house from the same angles, and then after we did the first makeover, so you can see the progression of everything. I truly hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching. Let me know, are you team blue or team green?
And all you had burns to the sky. It's all